Okay, so before we move on, I told you the wrong number for the amount of beads you need that fit both of the wires through. You need 19, not 16. So your next step is to determine how many beads you want on your next set of flower petals. So it'll be the middle set. I'm going to put on 18. You'll probably have to experiment and decide what size you want if you made a different sized petal. Mine is going to be 18. So what you're going to do is the same on the last thing. You pick a wire and you start with the bead that you know can fit both the wires. Slip it in and then put on 17 more beads. You have your 17 beads. Just take your wire, put it through the last bead, going away from the rest of the beads. Now, take your other wire, do the same thing, put the bead that you know can fit both, and put on another 17 beads. Take the wire and put it through the last bead, going away from the rest of the beads. Okay, so after you do that, you might notice that there's kind of a big space between these two petals, and it looks kind of awkward and it moves really easy and it's just not cool. So what I do is I pick one of the petals. It's usually the one that I did first, but it really doesn't matter, I don't think. And you take it and you push it over across the other petal. So they just kind of switch places. It's like you switched them, and it'll be just like that. So it was over here, and you just pull it across and put it on the other side. And now this wire is going to be on this side, and this one will be on this side. And you just continue making your petals this side, then this side, then this side, then this side, until you have 6. Okay, so I'm done with my next set of 6 petals. So I'm going to do what I did the last time with the petals. So you have this wire that belongs to this petal, this wire that belongs to this petal. You're going to take this wire and bring it over, down, and around the other petal, so it comes out the middle. You're going to take this wire that's on this side, bring it over, down, and around, and goes through the middle of the other 2 petals. So then you have your 2 wires sticking out. Okay, so I've already made my first 2 petals on the next row. I used 11. You'll have to decide how many you want to use for your flower. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the last row, and I'm going to switch the petals. So I'm going to just push this one up and over the other one, just like that. And then you're going to continue making your flower petals, one on this side, one on this side, one on this side, until you have 6. Okay, so after you have your 6 petals and you have your last row, you're going to do what you did on all the other ones and take your 2 wires and wrap them around the petals and go through the inside like you did at the end of the other 2. Once you've done that, pick the longest wire, and what you're going to do is you're going to put one bead that can fit the 2 wires in on first, and then you're going to put 5 other beads. No matter how big your flower is, put 5 other beads so that you have a total of 6. Then you're going to take the same wire that has the beads on it, and instead of going away from the beads in the last bead, or the first bead this time, you're going to put it going towards the beads, but you're only going to put it through the first bead. So I have my beads, here's the first bead, I'm going to put it going towards the other beads this time. And pull it all the way tight. And you should have a little circle in there, just like that. So take your other wire, the opposite wire that had the beads on it, and just push it down the middle of the circle and through all of the flowers. So it should go straight down through the middle and come out through here. It might take a couple of tries to get it to go, but eventually you'll find it. Get it to go just like that, and pull it tight. And do the same thing with the other wire. Take it and push it down. Now you'll have both the wires coming out the bottom. Okay, for this next part, it's all based on your finger size. So what you're going to do is you're going to put the same amount of beads on both of the wires, and then you're going to twist the wires around each other and make a twisted ring band for your finger. Okay, so once you have your beads on both the wires, all you have to do is twist it. So hold the 2 wires in one hand and just twist the flower in the other. Make sure it's good and twisted, and then just make a circle ring, just like that. Pull the beads tight, and then it'll be just like that under the flower, and you're going to wrap the wire around the very bottom of the flower as many times as you want. You can do it a million times, you can do it only a couple times. And then all you have to do is take your scissors and cut the wire. And then you'll have like a little bit extra just right there, and just push it in like anywhere, just kind of keep wrapping it. Okay, so after that, check and see if it fits your finger. It does. And now you can shape your flower. So what I tend to do is I take the top pieces and I just push them up. and the bottom pieces, and I just kind of, not necessarily push them down, but I bend the very ends of them down. Just all the way around. And there you go. Now, there's also a trick. If you find that you have a lot of extra wire on some of the petals, you can just take the petal and twist it at the very end. That way it's tighter. And you won't see the wire. It's just a little trick I learned. So there. That's your flower ring. Thank you for watching Beauty from Trashes. If this video was helpful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And don't forget to follow Beauty from Trashes on Facebook and Twitter.